looking in the door in West U on Auden Street right now.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Is it a
You know, where
secret?
services were originally.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What?
On where the rec center or the seniors.
Oh, yeah.
Confused.
Yeah.
I was thinking that I think of Auden as like a rec.
Carolyn, you look good, honey.
Oh, thank you.
She said
A little makeup and paint will make you what you ain't.
Carol.
Pounding on the door.
looking through the
How are
window.
you doing? How's everything? Carol, honk.
You're muted, Carol.
You're on mute. You're on mute, honey.
I know. I'm hanging in. I mean, just barely hanging in. It's been a rough road.
We say hi.
Sure. But one foot in front of the other is all I can do.
Absolutely. And thank goodness you're here with him.
Yeah. I was going to move here anyway. I did it a little premature.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're glad you're back and send your son well wishes.
Thank you.
Can I say hi?
Sure. Come here.
Shabbat Shalom.
Here's my grandson.
Hi.
What's your name, honey?
My name is Drake, D-R-A-K-E.
Drake Pot.
Drake Bach.
How old are you, Sir
I'm
Drake?
4.
Wow.
Wow. Terrific.
I'm going to be 5 soon.
Oh, that's
When are you going to be 5?
September.
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 Well, you
It's
are
right around the
you
corner.
look older than that. You're so big. Wow.
Yeah, I'm 4.5.
Wow.
What a cutie.
Absolutely. Hey,
Are you
Janet.
glad to have your Nana Carol with you?
David, Sandy brought us a heart.
That's part of coming here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I have a chameleon over there. I
Yeah.
gotta go check on him real quick.
Okay, you go check.
Oh, sweet. That is really sweet.
That's him. Tell her. That's him. Tell her.
Jean. Many of us.
Marion, it's good to see you.
You're muted, Marion.
Good to be seen.
See everyone.
Not you.
Oh, not me? Oh.
That's Henrietta.
Oh, she's great. She's getting ready to go to the Miller Theater with Robin Bierman.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
They were hoping the rain would stop and the sun's coming out unbelievably. I felt like a mushroom. I thought, so mushy out there. Oh my gosh. Again, I want to say my blessings that there's no hurricane storms, flooding, or any of that, but enough with the friggin' rain already.
So far, so good. That's all I can say. So far, so good.
Yeah.
No locusts, no pestilence.
Is she going as a patron of the theater, or is she gonna be?
No, it's Miller Outdoor Theater.
Blood in the
Oh,
water.
okay.
The first form.
Oh, hey,
Yeah,
that's a
you
little
can
close
call
to
ahead
home.
if it's for 65 or older, and then you
Yeah, right, exactly.
can
That's
sit
how I
underneath
usually
the.
work.
Well, me too. man.
So a whole bunch of them go on a pretty regular basis. I went last week.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
Hello.
Welcome. We are so glad that you have gathered online in a few weeks, maybe a month and a half or so that's we've been on Zoom only. But really glad to have this technology and the ability to reach you nonetheless. We're going to open with Or Zarua, which you can find on the supplement that Holly put on the website, or may have uploaded to our chat, or you probably just already know.
Is your microphone on?
Yeah, Rabbi, speak into the microphone more.
How is this? Is this better?
Yes, much better.
Okay. I was just saying Shabbat Shalom. zaru ala tzadik ulishrei lev simcha zaru ala tzadik ulishrei lev simcha simchu tzadikim b'Adonai lehodu zecher kodsho tzadikim b'Adonai behodu zecher kodsho or zaru ala tzadik ulishrei lev simcha zaru ala tzadik lishrei lev lishrei lev lishrei lev simcha lishrei lev simcha lishrei lev. As some of you may have heard earlier, I am really grateful to be joined not only by Kelly Dean, but by Miles Goldstein, who has been he's been our roadie for the last 3 or 4 weeks, but now he's roadie turned musician. He's been upgraded, promoted. This is a poem originally written in Yiddish by Rabbi Abram Joshua Heschel called I and You. Transitions flow from your heart to mine, trading, twining my pain with yours. Am I not you? Are you not I? My nerves are clustered with yours. Your dreams have met with mine. And we are we not one in the bodies of millions? Often I glimpse myself in everyone's form. Hear my own speech, a distant, quiet voice in people's weeping, as if under millions of masks, my face would lie hidden. I live in me and in you. Through your lips goes a word from me to me. From your eyes drips a tear, its source in me. When a need pains you, alarm me. When you miss a human being, tear open my door. You live in yourself. You live in me. Let's continue with Hine Matov. Matov umanayim shever achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shever achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim. Hoy 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 shever achim gam yachad. שבת אחים אוי אחים גם יחד שבת אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומה נעים אוי 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 שבת אחים גם יחד שבת אחים אוי אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, אוי 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 שבת אחים גם יחד, שבת אחים אוי אחים גם יחד. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת. And we continue with Lechadodi, page 4. Yalalalai Lechadodi, Yalalalai Likrat Kala, Yalalalai Pnei Shabbat Nikabela. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתחילה. Yalalai, yalalai, lechadodi, yalalai, likot kala, yalalai, pnei Shabbat, nikabela. Likrat Shabbat, lechu v'nelcha, מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם משוכה, סוף מעשה מחשבה תחילה. יאללה לחדודי, יאללה לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. אוי ושלום עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובצהולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, יאללה לחדודי, יאללה פני שבת נקבלה. There are so many different kinds of responses to different kinds of conditions, different kinds of moments, different kinds of circumstances. But perhaps the most productive one is the response of joy. Now, joy doesn't always have to mean happiness or contentment, but it's an expression, it's an effort to find the good, to find the positive, to find what one can find of meaning and purpose, even in situations which are difficult, challenging. This is called the prayer of joy. God, thank you for joy and delight, for wonder and awe, for moments of gladness and celebration. Grant me the ability to breathe gentleness into my hours and seasons, so that I live awake to beauty, to holiness, to the radiance that surrounds us. Grant me the wisdom to arrive each day with passion and humor, with song and dance, with smiling eyes, in service to myself, in service to others, in service to your holy name. We continue with Baruch Hu, page 6. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed Le'olam Va'ed Yalalai lai lai 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 La 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 la. You know, we say that ahavat olam, eternal love, infinite love that reaches beyond all borders, is for me, well, it's for me one of the defining ways we understand God. I watched the most moving video sometime this week, and it was of a group of the Israeli rescue workers who had flown from Israel to Florida and had come to Surfside to help with the recovery, well, the rescue and the recovery. And it was, I guess, from last Friday night. And they were all so messy and dirty. They'd been working all day long, and they were wearing their uniforms. And there was probably 10 people or so. And one of them who led everybody. It was well after Shabbat had begun, and They were still working. But they stopped to make Kiddush. They stopped to raise up the cup and offer the blessings we offer on Shabbat. And it was a video, it was very simple. It was just them reciting the Kiddush. And in the wake of this tragedy that is just so awful, to witness this kind of moment of holiness, of recognizing God's presence in that moment, and how far away they were from home, and yet how much at home they were doing this rescue work that was so precious and valuable. It was really a wonderful manifestation of Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amnacha Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, B'shochmeinu Uvkumeinu, Nasiach B'chukecha, V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, Uv'mitzvotecha, Le'olam va'ed. Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam. Page 10. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom alevavecha ve'shinantam levanecha ve'dibarta bam ve'shivtecha beveitecha uv'lechtecha v'aderech ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. At this time in our service, we invite you, anyone who would like to share their simchas, and you are welcome to unmute yourself and just shout it out and let us know what's something that you're excited about sharing this week.
Yesterday was my 75th birthday, so I made it to
Birthday,
75.
Janet.
Yeah.
Any other birthdays amongst our group tonight? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone?
We've got 2 baby names in the family.
That's
72.
Who's that? Who was that? David? All right. So we've got David and Janet.
Okay.
Kelly? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to David and Janet. Happy birthday to you. Once again, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach. Happy birthday. Are there other simchas that you would like to share? Anybody?
My granddaughter, Mackenzie LeWinter, had her bat mitzvah a few weeks ago in Florida, and I was able to go.
Mazel tov. Mazel tov, Mackenzie. Are there others? Anybody? All right. Well, let's sing. Mi chamocha. Page 13. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedal b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedal b'kodesh. Nora tehilot, osei veleh. Nora tehilot, osei veleh. Adonai le'olam va'ed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedal b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedal b'kodesh. Nora tehilot, osei veleh. Nora tehilot, osei veleh. Adonai lo le'olam va'ed. Let's breathe for a moment. Let's focus on our breath as we are halfway or so through our service. By the end of which the goal is to have a sensation of a refreshed soul. Shabbat vayinafash. To rest and to re-soul, to refresh, reconnect. Lots of re's on Shabbat. like the kind you feel once you've had a wonderful night of rest. Hashkivenu. Page 14. Actually, it's in the supplement. Hashkivenu Adonai. Peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Ashkeneinu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom. Hamideinu malkeinu l'chai. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Ashkeneinu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom. Hamideinu malkeinu l'chai. L'chai. Please rise for the Amidah. Adonai Sefatai. Page 15. Anananananana Adonai. Anananananana Sefatai Tita. Ananananana Hufi Yagi Tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana Svatai Tivta. Ananananana Hufi Yagi. Hufi Yagi Tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana Svatai Tivta. Ananananana Hufi Yagi Tehilatecha. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem L'man Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magin Baruch Atah Adonai Magin Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechaya Kol Atah Rav L'Oshia Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed Mechaye Yakol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Berofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Micha Mocha Bal Gevurot Umido Melach Melech Memit Umechaye Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'emanat halachayot hakol Baruch Atah Adonai Mechaye hakol. If you are standing, please be seated. At this time in our service, We offer prayers for people who are in need of healing and wholeness. And I invite you to write into our chat the names of people whom you are thinking of and for whom we will pray. I invite you to then read those names, or read those names of groups of people as we offer Misha Beirach on page 23. Bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Hallelujah. 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 Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Here's just a few short announcements. 3M meditation, music, and Misha Berach will continue this week on Monday and Thursday. On Thursday, we will have Josh Goldberg joining us. We have Shabbat and our Oneg next week in person at Westview Community Center next Friday, July 16th. Julie Sachs will be accompanying me. We will not be holding any services on July 23rd, but we will be back at Westview Community Center on July 30th with, give me some drum roll or something. Hannah Madeline Goodman. Hannah will be in town for the weekend to do rehearsal for the High Holy Days. And so we are really excited to get her back in Houston. And she'll be doing services with us for us on Friday night, the 30th. Our Bagel Scoop fundraiser continues. We encourage you to purchase your bagel scoops because even though it's not a lot of money, 36% of it comes back to CSK. And then please make sure to save the date for Thursday, August 12th, 6 to 9 p.m. Better Together, citywide Jewish singles in their 50s and 60s event at a place called Pinstripes on Kirby. For more information, you can go to our website and contact Holly. So this week's Torah portion is a double Torah portion called Matot Maseh. And with it, we conclude the book of Numbers. And in order to present the basic themes of the Torah portion, Matot Maseh, of Maseh really, well, I've pulled in Kelly and Miles to help us out. So, you guys ready?
Ready.
Right as ever.
Okay.
Moses, you should be going to bed soon. It's very late. Hardly an Israelite is up. Even the camels are snoring.
I'll be done soon. I'm writing my memoirs. As you know, the Lord will not permit me to enter the land of Canaan. Someone has to record our travels.
Can't it wait?
I wish it could. I'm 120 years old. I could get the call to sleep with my ancestors at any moment.
Well, good night, Moses.
The story of the Israelites in the desert by Moses.
And the Israelites marched out from Egypt while the Egyptians were burying their firstborn, and they camped in Sukkot.
From Sukkot to Etam.
From Etam to Piharot.
From Piharot to Pena, and from there to Marah.
From Marah to the Red Sea.
The
big sweat.
From the Red Sea to Dopka, and then to Alush.
From Alush to Rephidim, and on to Mount Sinai. The Ten Commandments.
And from there, we schlepped all over the place. And here we are on the steppes of Moab.
All right, everybody, gather round. I just got back from a meeting with Moses, and he told us that the Lord has instructed us that when we cross the Jordan, we must destroy all the people living there, and especially all of their idols.
I'll smash their idols. I'll tear them to pieces. I'll crush them with my bare hands. I'll mutilate them. Just one question. What's an idol?
An idol is a piece of wood or stone that people pray to and call God.
Now, why would anyone want to pray to a piece of wood?
Because they don't understand that God is everywhere. Some people still have that problem.
And then the Lord spoke to Moses and gave him the borders of the promised land. And the Lord made provisions for those who killed someone accidentally.
Oh gosh, what do I do? I was out shopping with my friend. Anan was standing behind me, and I raised my axe up in the air. I brought it down on the wood, except the blade was gone. I turned around and I said, Anan, where's my blade? But Anan couldn't answer anything. As a matter of fact, poor Anan was dead. The axe had got him. Now his whole family is after me.
Follow the refuge road.
Follow the refuge road. Follow the refuge road.
Follow the refuge road. Hello. Have you accidentally killed a friend of yours? Did you mean him no harm? Is his family taking the whole thing rather poorly? Do they want to take an eye for an eye? Then you need the city of refuge. That's right. It's just as God commanded. The tribe of Levi manages 6 cities of refuge. For your convenience, we have 3 on the east side of the Jordan and 3 on the west. So if someone is after your hide and you need a place to hide, come to a city of refuge.
You'll be safe from harm as long as you stay within the confines of the city. Don't go out or you're on your own. If the high priest dies, you are free to return to your land. So you see, the Bible understands that sometimes there are special conditions, even in the case of killing.
A few more laws about murder. If anyone kills a person, the manslayer must be proven guilty beyond a shadow of a doubt. There must be witnesses.
And one witness isn't good enough. There must be at least 2. They must tell the same story without even one contradiction. You're stepping on the court, by the way.
These are the commandments that the Lord gave to the Israelites through Moses on the steppes of Moab, at the Jordan near Jericho. And a final word on the daughters of Zelophehad. They may marry anyone they wish, so long as he's a member of their tribe. They may not marry anyone who would take their land inheritance away from its tribal borders. This concludes Numbers. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. So I wanted to briefly introduce you to the subject matter in this Torah portion. In particular, I wanted to point out this idea of the cities of refuge. This is a rather unique concept that comes out of the Torah and the ancient Near East. This idea that if someone caused the death of someone else, and it was accidental, yet the family, those who were related to that person, still, wanted to get revenge. The Israelites, the Torah believed that this wasn't a holy society. This did not make. And so what's interesting about this is that the Torah lays out the importance of these refuge cities, these cities of refuge, where a person who accidentally killed someone can go to and be held in safety until the case had been adjudicated, basically, and some kind of compensation, recompense could be figured out. The rabbis of the Talmud, and then the rabbis of later years, including the Rambam, Maimonides, they really dig into this idea and they build on top of the concept of the cities of refuge, layers, right? That's what we do. We add layers upon layers upon layers. And one of the more interesting pieces of this is that the rabbis go to great lengths to describe how important it is that these cities of refuge certainly not be anonymous, certainly not be unknown, but that really you have to go to great lengths to make sure that the cities of refuge are, first of all, well known, that they are well publicized, that people know where to go when this happens, because obviously if it's an accidental death, then you didn't plan it, right? And so you have to be able to know how to seek that refuge, which means the pathways needed to make sure that the pathways to the cities of refuge, and they go into detail about the roads and about the width of the roads and about the kind of signage that was necessary to make sure that nobody could live their daily life without knowing and being able to access with ease a city of refuge. Now, these cities of refuge were fictitious in and of themselves, of course, because the Israelites were schlepping through the desert. So there weren't any fixed positions in the Israelites' time, but it was projecting this forward into the land of Canaan. And in particular, it was a crucial piece that these became, as I said, well-known, well-publicized. That they became the practice of the communities to make sure that one knew and could access these cities of refuge. Of course, there's no surprise to then understand and hear that the rabbis of later years take this idea of the cities of refuge, these physical cities of refuge, and broaden them to be understood in a spiritual way. That the idea is all of us live our lives where we are generally aiming at wanting to do the right thing, live good lives, live productive lives. And along the way, we get off course. We lose sight of what's most important. Sometimes we lose our temper. Sometimes we break things, hurt feelings, do things that they're not really at all what we intended to do, but they are things that happen nonetheless. And sometimes if we engage in these things and then we maybe have some disputes with others, without a reset, it's easy to keep on going down a negative path where the feedback is a negative feedback loop. And so the bad deed leads to a bad response, which leads to another bad deed, which leads to another bad response, and so forth. And so Rambam, Maimonides, he says, what we need to do is we need to understand these cities of refuge as spiritual spaces or practices for our resets, for our ability to get back to square one, so to speak, to get back to our most cherished values, to remind ourselves of what we know to be true, of what we know to be accurate. It's easy to start telling yourself a series of negative stories about yourself, about your life, about how desperate or unimportant you might feel. And one of the strategies that I think is a really important one to employ in these moments, if you can't tell yourself how to get back towards spaces of refuge, of reset, pretend you're giving advice to your friend. So imagine that your friend is sharing these negative thoughts about himself or herself with you. What would you say? What would you try to do to make him or her or them feel better, more solid, more balanced? I'm not talking about pretending. I'm not talking about saying something is white when it's black. I'm not saying something is fixed when it's broken. You can't. That's not going to help you at all. But what is it that you might say to someone? Or what might you ask that helps them move into a better direction? And these cities of refuge are so important to be understood in this rabbinic notion about the practices to make sure that the cities of refuge are accessible, knowable, understandable, reachable. The practices we do on Shabbat or in meditation or in mindfulness, in yoga, in walking, in exercise, in all the different things that we do to keep ourselves healthy, they are all part of this work of keeping the cities, the spaces of refuge known and accessible to us. Because if we don't do those practices, if we're not making sure that the cities of refuge, these spaces of respite are known and available to us, well, then it's so much more work to get back to a balance, to get back to a better space, to know what to say to yourself or to another, to know what to ask of yourself or another. Everything in the Torah is meant to be understood in a physical, actual way, and it's also meant to be understood in a spiritual way that reflects upon us. We would do well to ask ourselves anytime we're reading Torah, how does this help me lead me back to me? How does this help me uncover what is true in my life? And what are the practices that I can do to be better able to access it? This is great work to be doing, especially now in the middle of summer, because the high holy days are just around the corner. And this work, the spiritual preparation, will help us make the high holy days and make our lives so much more meaningful and accessible. Shabbat Shalom. I invite you to rise if you would like for Aleinu. We continue. It's in the prayer book on page, I don't even know if anybody has the prayer book, but 24. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol lated gedola liyotzer breshit shelo asanu kegoya ratzot velo samanu kimishpachot adama shelo sam chelkenu kahem vegoralenu kechol amonam v'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim Lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz. Bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad, u'shmo echad. Michigan is saying it's time for challah, Daddy.
She is after.
Yeah, she's done.
You're gonna tie up.
Michigan, move. No. Sorry, everybody. At this time, we call to mind people who are no longer with us. People who have passed away. We invite you to write their names into our chat as we prepare for Kaddish. Page 26. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba. Ve'amad yivrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayedech Beit Yisrael. V'agalav yizman kariv v'imru amen. Yesh shemei Rabba mevarach le'olam u'mei al-maya. Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha brichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiram be'alma v'imru amen. Yesh lama Rabba min shemayim. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who makes peace in the high places make peace upon us, upon all Israel and all the world, and let us say amen. And we conclude with Oseh shalom. Oseh shalom b'mramav. Yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. La 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 la, 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 la 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 la. Oh, say shalom b'mramav. Oh, yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kisher b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon inchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. L'chaim. Now everybody should unmute yourselves. This is the cacophonous motzi. Everybody unmute?
Yes.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
remind me like a spaghetti western, like a fistful of
Shabbat shalom.